Hey there, my name is Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life. In this video, we're going to explore one of the most amazing creeks in the Appalachian Mountains at New River Gorge National Park and Preserve in West Virginia. Carolyn and I made a video exploring this newly dedicated national park last fall, only at the time it wasn't a national park. It was called New River Gorge National River, and no, that name didn't make a whole lot of sense. In fact, I was even corrected by some wonderful people in the comment section of that video. And we love comments, even when people are pointing out our mistakes. We always assume their heart's in the right place. But believe it or not, this is one of those rare occasions when I was right. Like I mentioned in that video, New River Gorge was established in 1978 as a national river, administered by the National Park System. But it wasn't a national park. Not yet. Or at least not when I made that video. But that all changed last year, December 2020, when New River Gorge was named America's 63rd National Park. And other than places like Area 51, a national park is the highest form of land protection in these here United States. It was a part of the COVID-19 pandemic relief bill. In the video I made last fall, we provided a very broad overview of what this region, rather what this national park offers, and we only scratched the surface. This park is all about finding amazing, unique adventures outdoors, from amazing rafting, off-road recreation, hiking, and so much more. The hot dog stand of this national park, or center point attraction, is New River Gorge Bridge, and yes, it's awesome. And that's what the other video is all about. But there is so much to do here that we're planning to return several times over the next year or so to create an entire playlist about this wonderful national park. I'll leave a link to that original video at the end of this one. In this video, we're following a creek upstream from New River, beginning a mile down the road from Sandstone Visitor Center. This visitor center is just off Interstate 64 at exit 139. But this video, especially at this location, wasn't supposed to happen. I had other plans for a video this week, but in a single moment, this all changed. Years ago, I coached high school football. One of the young men I used to coach sent me a message through Facebook informing me that someone I used to coach with, Coach K, died the previous day due to complications related to COVID. And this wasn't someone I just coached with. This was a lifelong friend who knew the real me, the me before I learned how to act in public or lift a toilet seat. This best friend was my age. We didn't just coach football together. We played on the same team in college, and we remained close years following. When I left coaching, well, it was one of the hardest decisions I ever made, but Coach K kept me connected, and he was extremely successful. He coached state championship teams and developed many players for the next level. Through ups and downs, Coach K and I remained close. Look, I get it. I understand. You come to this channel to escape depressing news. You come here to see beautiful things and forget about the realities of life and our current, well, insert whatever you want to call the current timeline. But I must share something more beautiful than any image I will ever offer on this channel. If you need inspiration, this might be exactly what you need to hear. The funeral took place about 2 hours from New River Gorge, 2 hours from here. Because of the current situation, the funeral had to be outside. The heat has been brutal this summer, and this day was no exception. The early morning rain made it feel like a sauna. Call me old-fashioned or just plain silly, but as a pastor, I feel like I'm supposed to wear a suit to weddings and funerals, even if I'm not the speaker. You know, most pastors have ditched ties these days, and I don't wear one to every service, but for whatever reason, I was wearing a suit with pinstripes that matched the mandatory mask I was wearing, and yes, that was a coincidence. But the point I'm trying to make is that it was hot. Within minutes of stepping out of the truck, I was soaked with sweat. But then the reunions. Friends from all over coming together to celebrate the life of someone who made such a difference. Tears and even laughter began almost immediately. I reunited with people I love, admire, respect, and miss, and well, anything associated with long overdue reunions. But the more we enjoyed the moment, the more it hurt. See, Coach K was always the reason for get-togethers and reunions. I'm not saying he was the center of the party or the center of attention for that matter. He was never the class clown or the jokester. Coach K wasn't known for his intoxicating charisma. In fact, Coach K was quiet and somewhat shy for a football coach. But he cared, and he had supernatural empathy. And he always remembered the little things that people pretend not to care about, but they really do. He was grateful, gracious, and walked with genuine humility. He remembered detailed conversations from years ago that most people would have forgotten, but because it was a situation that may have mattered to you, he wanted you to know that it mattered to him. He remembered the names of your family members, birthdays, and even the names of people's pets. And this wasn't fake or something to learn from a silly How to Make People Like You book or seminar. And I'm not putting things like that down. In fact, I've paid money to learn how to improve upon my people skills, but I learned a lot more from Coach K. Learning a skill to pretend to be interested, care, or show concern is one thing, but you can't buy authenticity because it comes from the heart. And Coach K had so much heart. He always made a difference. Sometimes in small ways, but in other times in giant ways that shaped destinies from bleak to blessed. Coach K made a difference. A few hours before receiving the Facebook message informing me that Coach K had passed, I was on the phone with another lifelong closer-than-brother friend. Having lost his mother just a few weeks before and having lost friends and family to COVID over the past, well, however long it's been now, my friend wasn't himself. Now, this is another one of those friends of mine that has superpowers, able to make people feel loved, wanted, and accepted with just a few words. A leader of leaders and one of the best and most encouraging leaders I've ever known. And I had an opportunity to make a difference in his life, at least in that moment, to encourage the encourager. And armed with my best Winston Churchill attitude, I proceeded with a, if you're going through hell, keep going kind of speech. And after which, feeling like I'd saved the country, I swiped the phone with the attitude, just another day at the office giving people truth bombs to change their world. And hours later, I received the Facebook message, the dreadful news. It hit me square in the face as to how insensitive I can be, even when I'm trying to encourage. Too many times, when given the opportunity to make a difference, we provide a statement, thinking the statement itself has the power to make a difference. But a heartless statement or a personal press release is nothing more than empty words that fall on the ground. It's been dreadfully hot this summer, and though people from all over the state of Kentucky knew and loved Coach K, no one would be judged for paying his or her respects or bidding a final farewell in a different or altered 2020-2021 kind of way. But that's not what happened. Just a few minutes before the service was about to begin, despite the heat, the humidity, and yes, the mandatory masks, several buses began to pull into the parking lot of the small church. Each bus loaded with students, teachers, and coaches from small school districts that were a part of Coach K's journey. With tears rolling down their cheeks and sweat dripping from their heads, they made their way to the gravesite, making a real statement in response to the difference Coach K made in their lives. As the service began, I found myself surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of people of all ages in the sweltering, steaming Cumberland Mountain humidity. If you watch a lot of our videos, you already know I don't like crowds, and between us, that's not video shtick. I really don't like crowds. But this was entirely different. I knew I was witnessing something historic. Okay, don't hate me, but deep inside, I really wanted to video the whole thing. Yes, that's completely inappropriate, and no, I would never do that in a million years, but seeing the difference that one person can make in the lives of so many people, well, it's about the most awe-inspiring thing that I've seen in quite some time. It was like one of those Lifetime movies, but it was real, genuine, and authentic. Even in death, Coach K is still making a difference in the lives of hundreds, no thousands of people. Coach K's Facebook page is slammed with people from all over the U.S. sending their condolences and sharing their stories of his difference-making ways. Local newspapers all over the region covered the story, and even the governor of the state of Kentucky tweeted his condolences. Yes, Coach K made that kind of a difference. He was quiet, shy, and very humble, but he was also honest, genuine, and authentic. But most of all, he cared. Coach K understood that even in times like this, we can make a difference. On the way back, Carolyn and I stopped here at New River Gorge National Park. The funny thing about being called New River is that the river is anything but new. Experts believe that it's one of the oldest rivers in the world, but this old river doesn't exist by itself. It's fed by many streams and creeks. Some of these creeks are ancient and some just seasonal runoff or drainage, but this ancient river is constantly being made new by the water that's added from other sources. I want to add more value to others, not because of the times that we're living in, but despite the times that we're living in. Are you with me? I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you're subscribed. My name is Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life.